Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to As Above, So Below, formerly Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 11th day of November, 2021. Well, trying to get a rune here. Let's see, from the esoteric influences, we have an 11 energy today, 11/11, 2021. That 2021 reduces to 5, so profound change or freedom versus restriction, or things like that have to do with the 5. But we have an 11 energy for both the month and the day, and so that's a master number for awakening and illumination and inner growth. So if you combine them together, that's a 22, and again, that's the cosmic builder. So I know in the esoteric influences I had drawn Ingu's, which is also the 22nd rune of the Elder Futhark. So quite a bit of a master number energy alignment today, energetically. It's also Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day and blessings to all of our veterans. My husband's a veteran. And let's see, the moon is currently in Aquarius. It's going to shift to Pisces late tonight at 11:54 p.m. But from the esoteric influences, the lunar transit suggests that we observe more than we react today, especially if there's some uncomfortable feelings arising between you and a partner. Try to understand the overall message, instead of taking the bait. But if it's not possible, at least try to remain neutral in your reactions today. Take a walk or listen to some music or do something else that's meditative, that you enjoy doing to regain your balance. So that's from today's esoteric influences. Now they go out, if you get the newsletter, which you can sign up for on the left side of the blog over at Stepping Aside, I'm steppingaside.com. Links are below the video here, so you can always find that there. You can sign up for the newsletter there. It goes out on Saturdays. Otherwise, it gets posted on Sundays or Saturday night whenever I do it over there on the blog. And then you can take a look at that and kind of get an idea of what the week has coming for you. It's kind of cool. It has both numerology, geomancy, Elder Futhark rune. Let's see, the lunar transits and then sometimes I include other stuff if there aren't that many from the chart that day. And then I also take the human design chart for the day, and the third paragraph reflects all of that. So it's kind of a conglomeration of things that seem to all flow together. So I don't know, it just seems to work. But you can check that out if you want to. Let's see, for the rune for today we have is Ansu's, which is Odin's rune. Ansu's is about eloquence and spirit communication. It's allowing higher self to guide your perceptions and your interactions with other people. So that's the above part. Let's see what the below part is with the geomancy rune. Geomancy is earth energy. It can be, the runes that I use to then discover the actual geomancy rune, or it can be pendulums. Geomancy is also ley lines. Anything that's earth energy, it can be considered geomancy pretty much. So we have, let's see, we have Pur, which is little boy energy. It's lack of impulse control, really. If you've raised boys like I have, you kind of know what that's like. It's the opposite of Puella. I was a bit of a Puella kid. Puella is scattered little girl energy, where you're just interested in a lot of different things. It wasn't that I couldn't focus. If I was reading, you couldn't get me away from the book. So it's not that I couldn't do that, but I was interested in so many different things. They're both, they're both not. I mean, I would say Puella is probably more positive, or they say more fortunate than say poor, but this is poor. So it just kind of indicates a lack of impulse control, maybe around interactions with others. So you want the higher self, Ansus, to try to transmute that ego-driven, poor energy into spirit, so that it's not getting you into trouble today. Again, it kind of does relate to observing more than reacting today from today's lunar transits. So something to think about anyway, in addition to the reading. So let's take the 3 cards. If we need more, we'll take them. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. I appreciate you coming by. I hope you'll click subscribe and come back and join our little Rune and Tarot family here. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take 3 cards to sort of give a little bit more information on the whole idea of having a little more eloquence and a little more control over our impulses today, and eloquence in terms of our interactions with others. We'll see what the cards have to say. So let's go ahead and take those. Well, it's a court card extravaganza, 2 pages and a night. But the primary suit here that governs the reading are wands, and so that's the fire element. That's an expression of will, again aligning with maybe the poor energy. But basically, I think what we're dealing with, oh, and then the other page is Pentacles, the earth element. So, you know, a little bit of spirituality there. But when you talk about pages, you're talking about new information. You're also talking about youthful potential. So within then our interactions with others and keeping our impulses under control, some new undeveloped potential could be there for something better to happen today. Instead of having ego control everything, like seems to be happening so much in the world these days and in our communities, there's a lot of that ego energy that's happening. So let's take a look at the first card, Page of Wands. Generally speaking, we're talking about new opportunities here. We see the page looking toward the future, holding his staff upright in his hands. You see, just like you do in the Knight of Wands, you see the pyramids here. Whenever you see pyramids, that indicates the Holy Land, or the quest toward the Holy Land. And basically what you're talking about there is trying to gain a more spiritual perspective, or a more spiritual attitude about things. And so here we talk about present moment awareness, the seeker, the student, transformation maybe, coupled with the knight who's on his quest. His visor's up, so there's no battle going on here, but you see his horse is all excited. He's rearing up to go on to the journey, and you see the pyramids right there, suggesting he's on a quest to the Holy Land. But again, Holy Land is about spirituality, and again aligning very well with Ansu's, Odin's rune. But this is about maybe taking some risk. It's about making progress. It's about taking action. You know, that's the thing with the fire element. It's a very action-oriented type of an experience, whereas Pentacles is passive. Pentacles and water are passive. Air and fire, or Pentacles and water, earth and water are passive, and fire and air are both active. The fire and air would be considered a masculine or projective principle, whereas the earth and water would be considered, let's see, a passive or reflective presence. But here you have the page holding his coin up. He's offering new opportunities, really, for security, material security. The earth element, or Pentacles, is about that. It's about our material security. It's about tradition and home and family and work. All of the things that keep us grounded in life. So it would seem that if we could use the energy of today, the 11 energy, and there is no numerology associated with the pages or the knights with any of the courts. Let's go ahead and take another card and see if we can get a different perspective here or something to add to this. But basically, if we've been dealing with interactions that were maybe just a little bit too scattered, a little bit too maybe taking the bait. Today, of course, with the lunar transits, it's saying to observe more than react. And that's really a higher self type of experience. So it's going to align very well with the type of illumination and awakening that the 11 energy can give us. Now, when you, again, 1111 adds up to 22, which is the cosmic builder. So it could be that the page of Wands and the Knight of Wands are really talking about where are we going, with our interactions with others. Are they going to be higher self-based, or are they going to be, more lower energy ego? I mean, the idea, of course, is to remember that what we are is spirit focused into form. And so when we do that, then we understand that we can either allow higher self or the soul to sort of drive the ship, so to speak, drive the car, or, which is the vehicle, which is the body, or we can let ego have its playtime and get us into all kinds of issues that maybe we don't need to be involved in. Let's see if we can modify. Well, we have the Magician between the Page and the Knight, and the Magician is the card 1 of the major arcana, and which is a soul archetype card. So it's definitely centering on soul type of manifestation. And if you're looking at 11/11 of the month and the day, and you come up with 22, that's really what you're talking about, the cosmic builder. You have the triplicity of the Fool, the Magician, and the High Priestess initially in the major arcana. And how I interpret that is the Fool takes the leap of faith into form, and the Magician comes up with the elemental types of creative energies there to manifest the body and to manifest the whole life, essentially. And then you have the High Priestess that comes in and takes care of the inner side of self, so the unconscious side of self. So this is conscious versus unconscious. And so we're taking a conscious view today of how we interact with others, again, stepping back and observing more than reacting, so that we can, not give too much attention to what the ego is, trying to get us to do. It's like, no, react. It's like, no, I'm not going to react. I'm going to sit back and wait and see till we know more. And again, the Page of Wands could be indicating the same thing. Give a new direction, new opportunities, a little bit of transformation involved there. So a little shift in perception toward a higher level of understanding. With the Knight coming in and understanding that there's an element of quest, it's an element of newness. Maybe the path in front of you isn't as clear as it might be. And again, that's the exciting part of it, when you can take on something new that you've not experienced before. So, and the Page of Pentacles comes in and says, well, we need to have a spiritual focus. We need to, whatever you're going to do here, it's going to have to benefit, your material security as well. So, if this is a work situation you're dealing with, and maybe the boss is not listening as well, or maybe being a little bit demanding, you want to be a little careful how you respond to something like that, and to respond with the higher self versus the ego, so you can't really, tell your boss where to stick it, really. At this point, it's just okay, you listen, and you figure out, okay, where are they coming from? What's the playing field today like, So it may be one of those situations that this is referring to. Let's take one more card. In terms of, now what I did is I put the Magician in between the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands to kind of give a little more clarity about what we're building today and what we're creating. But with the with the Knight of Wands, if we're taking some risk, again, it's got to deal, it has to be in alignment with our material security and our foundation. And then I pulled the Four of Wands, which is an interesting card. This is reflective of harmony and balance and balanced energy exchange. If you have two, and also the 22 energy today between the month and the day, so there's some alignment there. You've got 2 and 2, but basically what you have here, you've got the couple who's gotten married, or their friends are behind here. You see the castle in the background. Here you have an X pattern with the garlands. Okay, you can't see that, but I mean, if you look, you can tell that by looking at it, but you can't see it directly. You're not below it or above it to really see it exactly. But that's what you have there. There are two garlands of roses, that are crossed there in balanced energy exchange. But we're beginning a new life together, basically, something that is going to strengthen the foundation of your life. Whether it's a new partnership or a marriage or what have you, it's just giving it's reinforcing the idea that if you're doing that, then or whatever is bringing you together in some kind of balanced energy exchange with a partner, whether it doesn't have to reflect marriage, but obviously partnerships have been strained, possibly, or there's been some miscommunication or what have you. Again, along with the lunar transits for today, you have to understand the overall message, or at least remain neutral until you do. If you get into it with somebody, it may not result in what you want, especially if you let the little poor energy, the little boy energy, get into the mix, and then it's me, and it's not about the greater understanding of what's going on. So I guess that's really what this is about today. It's really about awakening to a better way of interacting with people, particularly close partners, particularly if it's a marriage, or just with family or close friends. Anyone that you're close to, if there's an issue with any of it, you've just got to get above it and not react in a way that can make things worse. So I guess just overall then, this actually represents an opportunity for change, especially if you're looking at the 22 energy of the cosmic builder. You're really talking about profound soul level change there. So that's a big deal today. Given that it's Veterans Day, how we thank people for doing something for us that they didn't have to do. Right? I mean, unless you were drafted into the military, because there's, of course, still veterans alive that who were. My husband went in, he enlisted, and 3 weeks later they did away with the draft. So it's like, well, and his number was real close. So had they not done that, he would have been drafted. But he went in and instead on his own and enlisted. So we just want to take time to get out of our own headspace and be aware of the sacrifices that other people do for us, and appreciate them and express gratitude for those. Again, this could also have something to do with that, gratitude and celebration and honoring, like you would if you went to someone's wedding. You're celebrating the commitment that they made. So we're just going to extrapolate the ideas. I don't think that this has anything to do with a marriage today, but unless it's a marital interaction that perhaps is a little bit, uncomfortable today or something. Again, rise above all of it. Don't take the bait, and allow spirit to inform whatever you're going to do, your perceptions, the things that come out of your mouth, and all of that. Sometimes with the moon in Aquarius, things can be a little bit aloof, and maybe, even though Aquarians are quite humanitarian oriented, sometimes they're in their own headspace, and so maybe they prefer a more networking type of experience versus some one-on-one. So that could impact things today as well. But again, just embrace Ansus, and you should do fine. So I guess that's it for today. We'll talk again on Monday. We do this again Monday and Thursday, and just be very careful today to observe instead of react, and you should do well. Manifest a new direction, especially if you're used to taking the bait, especially if you're used to constantly reacting and getting into it with somebody. This is a signal that, especially on today, on an 11 energy just for the day itself, this is an energy of illumination and awakening and enlightenment and inner growth. So, time to grow on a Jupiter day. Gives you lots of energy to do that, energy of expansion on a Thursday. So anyhow, check out the forecast that I put up every day, Monday through Friday anyway, on the blog over at Stepping Aside. That's the big long one. And join me over on Patreon. It's $1 a month or $12 a year to do that. There's stuff that goes up there as well. And I do a write-up of this over there, and as well as I post the video over there too. But the video will be posted either on YouTube or both on YouTube and also over on the blog on the side panel. And again, links are below the video here. I guess that's it. Esoteric Influences, again, we talked about that. That's coming out, so check that out. Even if you don't sign up for the newsletter. But sometimes it's nice just to get it in your inbox and you can just go right there to refer to it instead of trying to find the website. Everyone's got their phone and they got their mail program on their phone, so, their mail app. So anyway, that's why it's nice to have that. But anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again on Monday for As Above, So Below. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.